Hello Capricorn, welcome to your special update here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. If you're watching this reading was meant to find you. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. Okay, 5 of Cups. A little bit of disappointment, right? Some unpleasant feelings. The idea that something should be there, but it's not there. Okay, I think you're somebody who is you try not to allow yourself to be influenced or swayed or deterred by the fluctuating emotions of the day. Right? Life is a roller coaster, man. You know, there are ups and downs, highs and lows, twists and turns. Some of them we like, some of them we don't like. But this is not the card that says that there's a fundamental dissatisfaction in life, that there's a fundamental sorrow about things. I don't feel like you're a pessimist. I don't feel like you are any kind of a nihilist or anything. You know, I feel like you recognize that there's going to be good days and bad days. And you have a very healthy relationship with your emotions. You don't try to ignore the bad ones, you know, and nor do you cling on to the good ones. You just, some days there's a bad feeling, some days there's an unpleasant event or emotion, other days there's going to be the exact opposite of that, right? So you honor how you feel. That's what this card is about, allowing those waves of emotion to wash over us and then wash away again. We're trying not to identify so strongly with any of them. This is very, very good. We don't always get everything we want. Some days we don't have all of our desires or needs met. Some days we don't get the gratification that we maybe wanted to, but that's okay. We're not trying to ignore how we feel, nor are we trying to prolong how we feel, especially those negative emotions, right? So it's a very healthy relationship that you have with your emotions. We got to put this card into some context. Let's see what else is going on with you. Okay, so we've got that 5 of Cups. We've got the 7 of Swords. Okay, Princess of Cups, Princess of Swords and Cups. We have desires. We don't always get them, right? We have plans. They don't always pan out. There's sometimes, you know, difficulty and obstacles, right? It's a very healthy relationship that you have with your plans, with your progress, with your internal dialogue, right? We'll talk about that with our 5 of Cups and our 7 of Swords. We have the Death card. We have the Magician. Oh, yeah. The Magician sort of knows that our will can still be fulfilled. We can still manifest the reality that we want, despite those daily fluctuations in heart and mind, right? And so it's not about, you know, we think of someone who's a master magician, right? Or someone who is enlightened, and we think, well, they just must be living in a permanent state of bliss. No, they still have bad days. The most enlightened person that you could think of, you know, pick anybody. They've had bad days, they've had good days. They've gotten angry, they've gotten sad, upset, disappointed. They've been joyous, they've had pleasure, and, you know, they've indulged, they've made mistakes. They've had plans that didn't quite work out. They've had criticism, they've had doubts, they've had thoughts that they've had to deal with, that internal dialogue, right? It's almost because of those challenges that we become those greatest of magicians, right? That if we lived a life of just nothing but joy and bliss and good times and gratification, I think we would be a terrible magician, right? But we have to be aware of these things. We have to accept these things. We have to accept the fluctuation of emotions. We have to accept that our plans are not going to just be smooth sailing every time. Okay? And if we honor all those experiences, the good and the bad, then we become the best of all magicians, right? Well, Capricorn, if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments. Now, we'll do the rest of our cards here. Path of the Serpent, 4 of Swords, the Sun, a 4 of Wands, and water energy. No more fire energy. There we go. A fixed fire energy. And that is extraordinary. That is really, truly great. Because this is a consistency. This is, constancy bears fruit. This is perseverance. This is tenacity. This is what makes the magician, right? That despite obstacles, despite the bad days, despite the unpleasant emotions or the doubts, the doubts and disappointments, let's say, you continue on. That is the magician. The magician needs tenacity. Can you imagine a magician who, at the first obstacle, the first criticism, the first unsuccessful endeavor, we just cry and go home, right? We just quit. And we snap our magic wand in half and throw it away and say, I'm done. Could you imagine? There would be no one. Nothing would ever get done. Nothing would get accomplished. So it's by going through these experiences, we have to have desires, and we have to have plans, and we have to be ready for those desires and plans to be thwarted, to be unfulfilled sometimes, right? They're necessary experiences of life. Of course, we want to minimize them, right? But we do need them. We do need both sides of the human experience to become that magician. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. It's going to go right here. With Alien, Simon Mork Ripley. Big round of applause for ASMR. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end, all right? It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need, all right, at the end of the reading. If you have a prediction for that card, please put it in the comments down below. Let's take a look around the room again. I really like our major arcana. We have Death card, Magician card, the Sun card. Okay. The Death card is right up here at the top, and it's your ability to let things go, to grieve and release things. Okay? And especially if there's a particular situation now that is causing some disappointment and some doubt, you honor that. You accept how that feels, and you feel it. You don't shy away from the feeling. You don't try to cover it up or mask it or put a Band-Aid on it. You say, I feel how I feel. Then we let it go. Okay? And we realize that every moment is a new moment, that we are reborn every second of every day. We are this constant, the sun is not just it's not a picture of a light, or you know what I mean? I mean, this is a picture of the sun, but the sun is constantly taking all of this internal material and fusing it together, processing it, and that's creating radiant light, right? Radiant light. It's because of the internal process that we're able to shine our light so brightly. If there was nothing going on in here, the sun would not have any light to shine. Does that make sense? So it is by the processing of all of this experience, positive, negative, and really it's the fusing together. It's the relationship between the pleasant and the unpleasant, the union of opposites that creates all of this light and heat and love and life and radiance. That is you in your environment doing your work, doing your will, working your magic, right? And it's a common theme that we have with you, Capricorn, that there was a time in your life where you hid your light, where you dimmed your shine, right? Where maybe you succumbed to some of this disappointment and doubt. and you hid yourself away a little bit. Maybe you went hermit mode for a while. Maybe it was a family history of you sort of being told to stay quiet, keep it down. Maybe you were, when you were younger, you were never taught how to properly relate to your emotions. You never taught how to deal with emotions, deal with doubt. How do you deal with a day that just doesn't go your way and is very disappointing? You know? The disappointment and the doubt is what, well, when I was younger, led me to get heavily into alcohol. I used to drink a lot, right? And I don't anymore. But I still have doubt and still have disappointments. Okay? But it is the contrast between those doubts and disappointments and those successes and those satisfactions and that fire, that light, right? The fusing together, the relationship between the good days and the bad days, you know, makes the good days a little bit sweeter when you've had a bad one, you know. So I feel like it's that internal processing of everything, and everything is fuel for that star, right? You are the star. This is you shining your light out into the world. It's in the position of your relationships. It's kind of your relationship with the world. You're shining your light. You're doing what you do. You're expressing yourself. You are being you, unique and radiant. You are a star. Okay? You are the magician. You're creating yourself, right? The magician is sort of the master alchemist, learning how to take all of our experience in life and transmute it into light and life and love. Radiant star. Okay? So we've got our major arcana. And the major arcana has this diagonal flow to it, right? It's not horizontal, and it's not vertical. Right? It's diagonal. It partakes of both the spiritual realm and the human realm. It is a combination of both. It partakes of both, but it is neither. You know? The spiritual energy here is cutting through both your sort of highest aspirations and the everyday flow of life. And the star is both the higher self and the lower self, right? If we think of the vertical as the higher self, and then we have the horizontal as the sort of human self or lower self, the star is both. The star is really that true self, which encompasses the entire being. Your body, your heart, your mind, right? Your entire soul and spirit is that sun. And that is radiating out into your world. So you're being yourself. You're tapped into your creativity. You know what you're good at. You know what your talents are. Right? And you're going to continue to do the work of fusion, that kind of nuclear spiritual fusion, to continue becoming the very best magician that you could be, because the magician is the one that is channeling that light through. That divine light comes in from above and flows directly out from us. So we are a pure channel. We're just a messenger. The magician is the messenger, right? Hermes, Mercury, messenger of the gods. We are a clear channel of that light, at least in its ideal perfected state. There's no resistance. There's no blockages. The light flows directly through us. We are just a channel. We are just a conduit. And that light out in the world, of course, is this spiritual sun here. And we know that it's through our internal work that we become that pure channel. This is the work of the star right here, right? That we're able to take all of our experiences and we're not clinging to them, we're not identifying them. They create knots of karma. Sometimes our negative experiences creates little buttons that then other people can push and then we react a certain way, you know, like a machine. So we start to learn where our buttons are. We start to learn where our knots of karma are, and we work on them. We process them, we fuse them, we do whatever we got to do to clear the blockages and become this pure channel of light. Okay. And so down beneath the surface, We've got a Princess of Cups. Your desires. You're going to have desires that you wish to gratify. These are both immediate desires, long-term desires, goals, hopes, dreams, wishes, aspirations, dreams. Right? You've got nothing but imagination within you. This is down beneath the surface. It's kind of like you have this wealth of this unconscious material. You're never going to run out of things to wish for, you know? You're somebody with a tremendous imagination. There's no limit to the kind of things that you want to do in life. The dreams that you have are infinite. Okay? Not all of them are going to work. Some of them will meet with disappointment. Some of them will be unfulfilled. We'll go after something and we won't achieve it. We won't have that satisfaction of that particular desire. And that's okay. Right? And we honor that. And we learn from that. And we take that in and we accept that. We process that. And it goes diagonally. And we're radiating out our light, our confidence, our love, our life. Right? And of course, in the background here, you have a wealth of plans. You know, you got a wealth of ideas, a wealth of desires, a wealth of ideas. You're always, I think you're very quick. You have a very quick wit, right? That you have new thoughts, new ideas, new beliefs. Every day you're exploring new things. You're looking at new paths. You're making new plans. You probably have, I feel like you have a lot of notes, a lot of paperwork, or a lot of books, or just a lot of information. You have a thirst for information, for knowledge, right? And it's in some ways we do this because we're trying to understand the world. I want to know what reality is. I want to experience things. I want to explore. I think you're a big reader, or you used to be. You used to be a really big reader. And with this wealth of knowledge, not all of it really means anything. You might pursue a particular course of research. It doesn't really lead to much, right? So sometimes our ideas, our plans, I think you're somebody with a lot of plans. Some of those plans don't really pan out very smoothly. But nevertheless, you do not quit. You don't give up. You may meet with disappointment. You may meet with opposition, right? 7 of Swords is futility. Some of those plans really may not amount to anything. There may not be a point. It may just sort of scatter at the end, and it's just like it's not even a dead end. It's just like the trail just fizzles out, and it's like there's nothing there, you know? And that's okay. That happens sometimes, right? It's part of life. It's another one of these experiences we have to distill or fuse together, right? This card's also about the internal dialogue. We deal with doubts. You're somebody that you have to have a lot of ideas, and then you have to criticize those ideas. And sometimes what we produce at the very end is that distillate, that pure essence of something. We got to what really matters here, because we've done that process of analyzing ourselves. You got to believe in something. You got to have ideas. You've got to have thoughts, and then you've got to analyze those thoughts. You've got to criticize them. You've got to pick them apart to find out what really matters to you. What do you really believe in? And maybe even finding out all of these disparate parts are all part of the same truth, right? Maybe this is this is all roads lead to Rome kind of thing, okay? I feel like this is also some opposition coming from other people outside, criticism. How do you deal with that? When you have an idea, when you're excited about something and you're ready to start doing it and you get involved and then people just kind of laugh at you or shut it down or criticize you. We could cry and go home and never try again, snap our wand in half, throw it away. Or we could just sort of smile and push through. Okay. But that's kind of, that's what we deal with in life. You're going to get, people are going to laugh at your ideas, right? Some of the things that you want to do are silly. They're not going to work. That's okay. You've got to have ideas. You've got to have desires. If we want to have any chance of becoming that magician. Okay? The magician is the one that has desires and has ideas and wants to manifest those in the world. Now, we think of the mystic as this sort of the other side of this, right? Or maybe the other end of the spectrum of the magician is the mystic. The mystic doesn't want any desires, doesn't want any ideas, wants to return to a zero, wants to contract into that unity and disappear on the other side. Yeah. Where the magician wants the same kind of unity, but in terms of having the power to manifest in this world. Yeah. And I think you're becoming quite the magician. Yeah. And maybe that's sort of the idea of, the before hiding your light away. Maybe you've been in a more mystical kind of state, but now it's kind of emerging. The sunlight is now shining forth from you, and you're ready to start getting stuff done. You're ready to start manifesting. Yeah. And so you're ready for the disappointment and for the despair and for the criticism and the doubt, because we need that. We need that. And in some ways, these two cards are telling you to not be fooled by yourself. Doesn't mean to be fooled with others. It means don't let yourself fool you. Don't buy into every idea you have as the best idea in the world. You've got to criticize your own ideas and beliefs and plans. You have a hypothesis. You have something that you think or feel. You've got to test it. Okay. Sometimes this is the card of that skeptic. Wants to believe in something, wants to know that, wants to feel like this is the truth, right? Maybe it is. Let's find out. Okay. And the death card up above, in that sense, is sort of saying that you have to learn how to let things go and recycle things, right? And shed the skin and allow your hypothesis to be challenged and picked apart and maybe proven wrong, right? But then to continue moving forward. You're at the cutting edge of your life. Okay? Every experiment, every scientific kind of analysis here leads to a little bit more progress. So we have to be able to let go of previous beliefs, previous values, ideas, thoughts and feelings. And this is the card of transformation. This is the card of putrefaction. As some things die and decay, the spirit of it rises. We kind of see it, all the unnecessary bits of it fall away. And they return to the earth. What's left is the pure spirit. Right? So you're getting rid of all unnecessary stuff to get to that truth in your life. Okay? And that, again, is allowing you to become the perfect magician. And this perfect magician is the one that is going to manifest your reality. You are the architect of your own reality. The magician can adapt perfectly to the environment. You can fit in, you can disappear, you can be completely anonymous anywhere you go. Yeah. You have that sort of power of kind of blending in, of becoming. It's sort of, Mercury, Quicksilver can sort of become part of any other element. It's still Mercury. It's still in there. You can't tell, right? But there's still a way of separating it out. There's some sort of chemical process. I don't know. You separate it. The magician can very easily adapt to any situation, can also manipulate that situation, can create the situation that it wishes for, that it wills. Okay? Based on what that divine light is, where it's directing you. Okay? So moving forward, I think you're gaining in so much wisdom by all this experience that you go through, your feelings, your desires, and it's sort of a way of appreciating some of these things that we go through. Not clinging to them, learning to let them go, learning to take the essence, the spirit of them, and add it to our wisdom, add it to our bucket of magical power and our bucket of wisdom. You show me any wise person, and I'll show you somebody that has had a very interesting, let's say, interesting life. Yeah. And now we start on the path of the serpent, and I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It's totally free, doesn't cost anything. It supports the channel, and I appreciate that. All right. So what does all this magician stuff, what does all this sort of magical talk mean? Well, it means that you are able to establish your kingdom on earth, basically, right? You're shining your light, and your light is unique to you, and it's growing the type of life that you want. This is how you are getting everything you want in life. This is how you are manifesting and materializing, right? The Four of Swords here is a card of truce. It's sort of a making peace with something, okay? I think that it's really you processing what this negative experience was, learning what the valuable lesson was in it, letting it go and saying, okay, I'm at peace with it. I don't like it. I don't want it ever again, but I'm at peace with it. There's a truce there. Okay? There's sort of, I've received the experience, I've felt the feelings, I've let them go, I've distilled the wisdom, and I'm done with it now. You know? And so this is kind of the way we are, in a way, fortifying ourselves, right? We have control over our mind. We're able to sort of think a thought, and if it's a truth, if it's wisdom in you, it's going to flow through that magician and it's going to manifest. Okay, if it really is truly your will, it's gonna come from somewhere other than your mind, really, right? So in some ways, this is a rest from the mental activity. It's sort of giving your brain a break, right? Telling your thinking mind to take a nap and letting that spiritual energy flow forth from you. So in a way, this is us choosing to not get engaged in the fight. I don't want to argue. I don't want to debate, right? Whatever is going to happen is going to happen. There's a trust here in spirit. But it's saying you're not engaging in the entanglements. You're not investigating anything right now. Your mind is not stressed out and trying to problem solve. It's just calm. Okay, it's a breath meditation. We're sitting there, not trying to meditate on anything. I'm not trying to figure anything out. I'm not contemplating or ruminating. I'm just breathing. Simple, pure, easy, in the moment. And that light's going to shine. The answer's going to come to you, right? The sun is going to appear, that spiritual experience. This is an awakening. This is you realizing your potential. Like I said, you know your talents, you know your skills, you know what you're good at, you know what you want in life. And I think that you're someone who is really shining, or you're about to shine. You're going to become the star because it's your will. You're the magician, right? And so whoever you want to be in life, this is it. It's through your magic that you're achieving this. This is a card of success, wealth, pride. Yeah. This is you becoming the star of your own life. This is you becoming successful. Who do you want to be in life? What do you want to be? How are you radiating your light out into the world? What are you meant to do? This is like, we think, this is a famous actor, right? This is somebody who has achieved something, who is becoming a star. Now, maybe that doesn't mean celebrity. It could. Very well could. You're achieving something. You're becoming the success. You're becoming that person that you believe you are through all of these processes. Okay? That's the Sun. The Four of Wands in the obstacle. Okay. I don't really think it's so much the obstacle because it's Venus in Aries. And to me it feels like this is you knowing what your own personal aesthetic is, you know? This is you with your own personal flavor. We think of a Venus in Aries, right? I kind of look at that card as someone who is trying to, I don't know, kind of like redecorate their life. You know, like you're taking down the stuff that I don't like any of that wallpaper, right? And you're putting up your own decorations. You're putting up your achievements. No. I want indigo walls, right? I want gold trim around the ceilings or something, like, you know, this extravagance, but it's your aesthetic, it's your taste, it's your flavor. Yeah. And sometimes this card is really the pleasure that we feel when we finally get to decorate our lives the way we want to. Does that make sense? Like when you're with your parents, you live in your parents' house or something, and it's kind of like it's your parents' stuff it's their furniture, it's their decorations, it's their artwork, it's their whatever, right? And you maybe get a room where you can do a couple of things to it, but you know, I didn't get much choice in how I decorated my room, you know. But now it's kind of like you understand what you like and what you want to be surrounded by. Right? You're putting up images in your life that are inspiring to you. So this is really the actual process of manifestation. You like something, want something, and it to look a certain way, and it's kind of it's almost the magic wand, and you just say a spell, and suddenly you've got your own, you know, money green leather sofa on the side there. Right? You've got your own gold records on the wall or whatever it is, platinum. And so it kind of is like a redecorating kind of energy. Yeah. And I feel like this is high time that your life starts looking the way you want it to look. And I'm not just talking about the room, you know, your house or something, right? But your life. You know, and it's everything from the clothes that you wear to the things you surround yourself with, the people you surround yourself with, the vibe, right? The aesthetic of your life. Yeah. I think this is very, very much important to you that you work on this. Maybe it seems a little superficial. I think you'll find that it's really not. Okay? Because it comes from an authentic place. And it is that outward expression. Maybe when you were a kid, you never got to dye your hair or get the haircut you want or wear the clothes you wanted to wear, you know. But we're not doing this as a rebellion. That's the thing. You know, you're discovering what you really truly like and what you really truly want to manifest. You know. And it may be the exact opposite of what you had to do when you were a kid, or maybe the exact opposite of what everybody else is doing, but maybe not. Because you're not basing it on a rebellion against something. So it's coming from you, it's coming from your soul, your spirit. It may be very similar to what everybody else is doing. It may be completely different. The point is that it's yours, and it's uniquely yours, and it is not just in reference to other things. You see, it's kind of emerging in a vacuum in a way, right? And now we end with a Prince of Wands here, and that to me just feels like keep doing it, keep going. Yeah, I feel like we've kind of been waiting for a reading like this. I feel like this is really the best reading ever because it's all about the magic. This is the center card. This is at the very center of the tarot table today. It's the Axis Mundi. This is what it's all about, manifesting your will, creating your life, manifesting your life, being the architect of your own life. Spirit says keep going. even when we run into difficulties. And I think in a very practical way, you've been feeling some of this disappointment and discouragement and doubt lately. Spirit's saying use it, transform it, transmute it into light and love and power, right? And maybe the Four of Wands is kind of saying, let's just keep making changes. Let's keep implementing our will little by little. It doesn't have to be just one magical act and then everything is different. No, you just you get one little piece of art here. You maybe get one piece of furniture a few months later, and you're just slowly building up the life that you want. Step by step by step. Yeah. And it's an eternal process. It keeps going and going and going. Magic is not just, one rabbit out of a hat, ta-da. No, that's a trick, right? That's not magic. Magic is a way of life. It is a continual, ongoing process of creation. Yeah. Let's look at our mystery card. All right. Maybe the Hermit. Maybe the Devil. I don't know. Maybe some really good water energy. Maybe a Three of Cups. Maybe we want the joy of it all, right? What are you really looking for? Maybe this card will reveal that. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments down below. Let's see. Justice, balance, the discernment. Maybe this is the card of truth. Maybe you're really looking to separate the truth from the falsehood. Maybe you're peeling things apart to try to find that authentic self. Yeah. Maybe you're trying to live a balanced life in the sense of, especially with the sun and the environment, right? Balanced life, equilibrium. Because the sun is this ball of fire and all this internal energy is pushing out this way, expanding, right? And gravity then is trying to crush you. The pressures from outside, let's say, are trying to crush you. But you have all this force inside that's pushing outward. So it's an equilibrium of force, right? And maybe that's what we're sort of looking for, that stability, that equilibrium. We don't want to expand too much or have too much of this nuclear fusion inside of us, because then we sort of go, supernova, right? We sort of explode. But we don't have too little, because then we just get crushed by the weight of the universe, right? And we become a little black hole or something, right? And so maybe you're looking for this equilibrium. Maybe you're looking for truth and justice. Maybe you have a purpose and you're trying everything to fulfill that purpose, that you believe in something. No matter what, even with the discouragement and the doubts and the disappointments, you believe in truth. Maybe this is you believe in justice. Maybe this is you fighting for a social. Maybe you're trying to really change the world, like literally make the world a better place through your magic, because you believe in something. I love this. So I really do think this is the best reading I've ever done. Now we are going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Capricorn usually on Thursdays and Sundays. This is a special update. I feel like you just needed the encouragement, or you needed Spirit to tell you to keep going, The truth is out there, right? Anyway, be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It's free, all right? And it supports the channel. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.